Yes, everybody, we are back in the building, and unfortunately, this is not a live or a discussion I ever wanted us to have. I was one of the people that was so freaking confident about Zubi joining. I really thought that, given all the most reliable sources were saying that we were all in on this player, the likes of Paul Joyce, the likes of David Ornstein, the Athletic, just everywhere. I was like, bro, there's no way we're gonna embarrass ourselves again, like we did with the Caicedo deal, the Lavia deal, the Chumeni deal. I mean, so I felt we needed to come on here, have a discussion, discuss Plan B, or even if there will be a Plan B, and see what we're gonna do. There's exactly 18 days left in this transfer window, and we need to clearly outline what kind of signings we need because, bro, we're still the only team in Europe's top five leagues, not just the Premier League, top five leagues to not have made one major signing yet. So you guys know I'm not one to overreact or be super negative, but this is not good enough, guys. I agree it's his loss, but bro, it is also a loss for us because we don't have that many days left in this window. We have 4 days left until our first league game of the season against Ipswich, and we still haven't signed a six, which, as reported by the most reliable journalist, that's the number one position we wanted to strengthen in this summer. Number one position we wanted to strengthen in. Stuttgart fan says, I feel bad for you, Leo. You look very excited, bro. Of course I was very excited, And people saying, oh, every time I look excited, the player just doesn't end up joining. Bro, come on, guys. No matter what club you support, when you're signing an exciting player like that many top teams want, of course you're going to be excited. And like I said, the most reliable sources were saying that we were all in on him. And trust me, the way Edwards and the way we do our business behind the scenes, we would not have let that out to any journalist unless we were confident the deal was getting done. That's how we go about our business, which I respect and love. But this is not good enough. And Deliora, unfortunately, you were absolutely correct in saying that you had that gut feeling that it wasn't going to happen. I'll put it out there, guys. When I get things wrong, I say it. And I got this one real wrong. But of course I got it wrong. How could you expect this to have happened? You know what I mean? But it looks like he came back on his word. It looks like he said yes to joining Liverpool, and that's why we went all in. And then in the final moments, I guess that Real Sociedad were able to convince him to stay. They were likely going to be offering him a big new extension, but man, it really feels like the Caicedo and Lavia embarrassing moments that we had last summer. And that's what I want us to get onto, because I don't want to be one of those sour fans that's just like all negativity now. When you have a blow like that, you have to move on and say, look, now what's our plan? What's our plan B? Like I said, there's 18 days left in this transfer window. Our first league game of the season is this weekend against Ipswich, and we need to get our stuff together, okay? And I'm gonna read out to you what the Athletic has said about what it looks like we're gonna be doing now that the Zubi deal has fallen through, because I'm personally really freaking shocked. You know what I mean? I mean, look, Villa Boys in the building. Look, you guys lost Douglas Luiz, right? That's a big player for you guys. But what do you go out and do? Replace him, And when Fabinho left, guys, or when Fabinho's legs were gone 3 seasons ago, did we ever replace him? Not yet. And you're about to see a video that I just made where I'm one of those people. I don't want to disrespect Endo, okay? I have a lot of love for Endo, and I already think he's a cult hero, and I want him to stay. But guys, you can't tell me that we can compete alongside the likes of Arsenal and Man City, who have Rice and Rodri, with a 31-year-old who doesn't have experience at that elite level in the same way. I know he's captain of Japan, and like I said, I have so much respect for him, but you can't compare him to Rice and Rodri, who are two of the best defensive mid in world football. You know what I mean? And so we need a plan B. But here's what the Athletic has said, guys. I will literally read out the quote. And I believe it was James Pierce that wrote this. I mean, all the Athletic staff basically did articles on every single team this morning. And let me move. It'll say who wrote it. I'm pretty sure it's So Liverpool. Okay, so here's what they've said, guys. Here's what they've said. So the question is, will Liverpool move for someone else? That's obviously the question that's on all of our minds. This is the quote from The Athletic. Quote, Liverpool insists there is no plan B, and they are currently unlikely to pursue an alternative to Zubimendi, who was identified as a target because he fitted their profile for the number 6 and they believed he was available. However, it remains to be seen if that stance changes in the window's final 18 days, given that the holding midfield position has been an area of concern throughout preseason. Wataru Endo has struggled to adapt to Slot's more possession-based approach. Alexis McAllister, Curtis, and Soboslai also played there, but they're also all more effective further forward, which I agree with. Then goes on to say Ryan Gravenberch has shown signs of promise in that deeper role, but it would be a leap of faith to believe he is the long-term answer. Signing someone of Zubimendi's caliber would have strengthened Liverpool in a key area. So there we go, guys. That is the report, which when I read that, I was just, bro, I was shocked. And I was really freaking shocked, especially because of the fact that it was made clear by all the top journalists that our main position that we're targeting this summer is literally that defensive mid role, you know? So for us to not have a plan B, how is that possible, bro? How is that possible? Tell me, guys. Delior says, I'm not upset the players stayed. I'm upset this club pressured and intervened in the player progression. His club. Yeah, but to be fair, you can understand that. That's normal. See, I'm more upset that we put all of our eggs in one basket, and clearly a basket that was risky, because in the end he decided to stay. So he must have had doubts from the beginning if he ended up staying. I understand he might have come back on his word, but you can't tell me that a player who's rejected many teams in the past isn't a bit risky. And now we find ourselves, like I said, 18 days left in the window, 4 days away from our opening league game, and we still don't have the position that we need. You know what I mean? And we're still the only team to not have made a signing in that position. Sure, Anislot has a plan. Bro, Bruno, look, again, this is the same report from The Athletic, guys. I'll continue. Then the next question is, what positions/players are they looking at? Newcastle's Bruno Guimaraes has been touted as a possible alternative to Zubimendi, but senior Liverpool sources, kept anonymous to protect relationships, are adamant they have no interest in the Brazilian. And then it says, aside from trying to recruit a new 6, there have been discussions internally over defensive options since Joel Matip left at the end of his contract this summer. Recruiting an attacking white player has also been a topic of debate. And that's it, guys. That's it. And by the way, yesterday it was made official that Fabio Carvalho is now a Brentford player. That was made official. Not only did Liverpool announce it, but Brentford announced it too. So we've also lost a really promising player in him. So, bro, we really need to freaking wake up. Yeah, Stuttgart fan. Of course, Liverpool has to sign a player. We will. I just can't believe, I cannot believe that we don't have an alternative lined up. And hopefully these reports are wrong. Hopefully they're freaking wrong. Yo, Zach is in the building, who says, surely Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes should have some blame here. They took way too long for the signing to progress. It's still annoying to see us take so long to make a single signing. I mean, I'm not against this whole stance of waiting for a right player in terms of like making sure we sign a top player and not someone that would be a flop, because we have been really good with our recruitment in the past. But at the same time, this is 3 summers in a row that this has happened. So clearly we need to change the way we're doing things. I understand now it's a new sporting director and everything else, but you can't tell me the situation doesn't resemble the Lavia and Caicedo sagas of last summer and then Tchouameni the year before that. You know what I mean, bro? What about Adrien Rabiot? Nah, I'm not. Bro, I'm not convinced about Adrien Rabiot. He's French. Usually I'm all about Liverpool signing French players, but he's had loads of issues in the past off the pitch. And I don't know, man. He's just not. I think it would take big wages, big signing on fee, even though he's available on a free. It's not as free as it seems when you actually look at things behind the scenes. And I don't think he's the answer. He's not an out and out number 6. He's not. We need an out and out number 6. And De Jong is another one that I don't see happening because it just seems really difficult to deal with transfers through Barca, and also he has such high wages. So I don't see how that happens either. Yo, the Vicar, nice to see you in the building. Who says, hey Leo, will we sign anyone this transfer window? Yeah, of course we'll sign someone this transfer window, but maybe it won't be a 6, which again I'm shocked with because forever I've been saying that he needs to be number 1. That needs to be the number 1 position. Earthball says, yo Leo, we pretty much wasted time. That's why you always gotta have a plan B if plan A doesn't go right. Exactly. Aaron's in the building, my boy, who says, I wonder how Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes feel. They were supposed to be the guys that don't fail on these things and get things done. I agree. But again, we obviously don't know the details of this deal. And from what it looks like, it seems like Zubimendi really gave his word. And in the end, he came back on his word, which is an absolute shame. And it's not professional from him. But at the same time, if you look at the past, the way that he rejected loads of other big clubs, it makes you wonder, could we have seen this coming? You know what I mean? And again, like I just said, the past few summers, we needed to replace Fabinho. Even before he went to Saudi. There was a year where his legs were gone, guys. Let's be honest. His legs were gone with the system we played under Klopp with the amount of running. And we never signed a top alternative for him. And I understand it's more difficult than it sounds because you have to have the right market opportunities. The players have to come, all of that. But come on, guys. We're Liverpool Football Club. You can't tell me that we can't find a top 6 somewhere in the world. You can't tell me that. To me, that's not possible. And this is another one that I don't understand. There's more reports saying right now that a signing, and I'm going to make a video on this, you guys, but the fact that the Georgian keeper who plays for Valencia, apparently we're really interested in him, and it would take about 30 million euros to sign him. Okay, fair play. I think he's a great keeper. He's one for the future. He's 23 years old. But why on earth are we signing a goalkeeper right now when there's clearly other defensive areas that need strengthening in it, and that as a top priority? You know what I mean? Like a center back, it's clear. Joel Matip left. Ibu Konate is injury prone. Sepp looks like he's gonna leave. He didn't play any minutes on Sunday when we had 2 friendlies. So I just don't understand how we're putting in energy right now to sign this goalkeeper when you have Alisson, who's the best in the world, and Kelleher, who's a great backup. But at the same time, I understand Kelleher wanting to leave if Liverpool is signing another keeper who they see as the right replacement for Alisson once he leaves. The fact that they don't seem to trust Kelleher enough to sign another keeper, and again, this deal isn't done. It's just apparently it's progressing according to Fabrizio Romano. Like, I don't understand that like I said, because there's other priorities. And on the other hand, I understand Kelleher now wanting to leave. Bro, if I'm checking the news and he could, like all these footballers can see what Fabrizio and other reporters are saying, if I'm seeing that someone that I've been the backup and been so patient and stepped up when Alisson was injured or away, I would want that position in the future once he leaves. But now if I see these reports, bro, I want to leave the club. I would not be happy after showing that loyalty and showing that I can play at that level. I don't understand it. Do I think Ederson would be a good player in Slot's system? I haven't watched enough of him. He seems like a top player, but what has really changed from Klopp's system to from Klopp's to Slot's system is the fact that in Klopp's system, it was more of a destroyer type defensive mid that we needed, like a Fabinho who put in those tackles, who would cut up play. And now I think in slot system, we need someone who's dominant on the ball, who's really good in transition, who's better in possession. And that's a pretty drastic change in terms of a 6 that we need in the past compared to now. So I do think there's a major difference in that aspect. And therefore, I don't know how Ederson's passing is and in possession. I haven't seen enough of that. I know Ugarte is less of that player, and I think that's one of the reasons PSG want to sell him is because he's more of a destroyer type mid, defensive mid, more similar to Fabinho that we had in the past. Mbappe's little brother went to Lille, actually. My team in France. He went to Lille. Oh, Lorente from Atletico, bro. He gave me too many nightmares from that night at Anfield of the Champions League. God damn. Leo, there's still 18 days left, says Earthball, but the season starts this week. It just feels like we were wasting time. We need to get a move on in the defensive mid area. I agree. Bro, I agree. We need to move from someone else. I don't care if we didn't get the player that we wanted, the perfect player that for slot system. I understand it's disappointing, but we cannot afford, like all the past summers, to not properly replace Fabinho, who was an elite defensive mid. That's what you need if you want to compete with City and Arsenal with Rice and Rodri. You see City's side when they're without Rodri. Look at the drop-off they have when he's not there. That just shows the defensive mid position is so vital in a team. So freaking vital. And I think it's clear to see that we're missing that kind of player. And again, I will reiterate so many times because I don't want to disrespect Endo. I freaking love him and want him to stay, but he's not at their level. We have to be honest here. We have to. And you know I'm Mr. Positive. David Reese, thank you for the super chat, who says, are you FSG out, Leo? I think it's a way more complicated of a question than just FSG in or FSG out. It's almost like people who voted Brexit out. It's like in the moment, oh, it's all good to say we want Brexit out because Brexit because it'll help the economy, all this stuff, and then you don't think about all the things that come after that. With FSG out, if for me anybody that says FSG out has to have a plan of then what owner is going to come in their place. What owner in the world can come in and pay 5 billion and run things better than they are right now? When you think about a club that's actually run in a healthy way, I'm sorry, they have done a good job in terms of the way that we're run behind the scenes, the players we've sold, the players we've brought in to stay fair within the financial fair play. And you see now it's way stricter. Apparently the 115 charges that City have, that case is going to start next month. So we'll see what happens. And, you know, I'm expecting some major things to happen to them. We saw what's happened to Everton, Forest. Something's going to happen with Chelsea, surely. I think it's a much tougher question than just being negative and say FSG out, they suck. We're not getting the players we need. Bro, like, it's a lot more complicated to be owners of an elite club like that. It is. And if you look at the grand scheme of things, they've run it in a healthy way. And they've progressed the club in a major way since they came in. I understand Klopp deserves the majority of the credit in the way the club has gone, you know, the last 6, 7, 8 years. But behind the scenes, we are being run well. And I agree, this is a major embarrassing moment for us. And I'm shocked by it. But I just, for all the FSG out people, can you do a live stream for City's court case? Yeah, when it happens, we could potentially do something around that. And that's going to happen. It's going to start next month. But they're expecting the result of that court case to not be come out until beginning of 2025. So it's going to take months, bro. It's going to take months for that. But that's why, guys, let me know in the building. For those of you that are FSG in or FSG out, I just think it's so easy to be completely negative. And again, I think it's fair for us Liverpool fans to be fuming right now, to not be happy about our window, to put pressure on the owners. Look, Virgil van Dijk, our captain, came out and said we need signings. I'm all for that. I'm all for putting pressure. But we also have to be realistic, because it's just too easy to be negative in life without actually giving other solutions. Apparently, it looks like Kamara, what do you think of Kamara from Villa? Hasn't he had his injury issues, Villa boy? The one that you signed for Marseille, right? Boubacar Kamara, the Frenchman. Yeah, that's another thing too. Earthball and the Athletic said this, guys. On Endo, this is literally the quote that they gave. Look, they said this about they said Wataru Endo has struggled to adapt to Slot's more possession-based approach. That's a quote from the Athletic, which I think we've been able to see in the friendlies as well. I would love Adam Morton, but it looks like he's gonna cost 100. He would cost 100 million because Palace are in no pressure to sell him. But didn't Kamara just have a major injury though? Am I wrong about that? Villa boy, you gotta tell us because you're a Villa fan, so you'd know better than us. Zach says, to be fair, everything else seems to be run perfectly fine. We can't really sack our owners due to one place they need improvement on. Although I do agree they need to improve on their financial area. But this is what I mean about people who are FSG outwardly like that. It's like you look at the way other clubs are run. Look at United spend way more money than us. Chelsea spend way more money than us. How has the last 10 years gone for them? Just because you spend a ton of money doesn't mean success whatsoever. And then it's true, the club that has spent a lot, where you can see the outcome, is Man City. Fair play. But look, they have 115 charges against them. So before we say that we want to be run like Man City, let's just see what the results of this case is that starts next month. And it goes back to this whole discussion where I'm like, the grass is always greener on the other side. But the reality is we're run in a healthy way. And it could catch up to the likes of Man City. And I agree, that's the main example you could see where if we had a ton of money that we could just spend and we're well run like City, they are very well run, then yeah, that's the dream. But I have a feeling that City, and it's from a book that I read as well, Football Leaks, they did a lot of shady stuff, bro. And maybe now less in the last few years. Like now they seem to be run in a much better financial place. I mean, they've sold players in a really smart way, like the likes of Luka Alvarez. They signed him for under 30 million. They just sold him for up to 95 to Atletico. They sold Sterling for a really good amount of money to Chelsea. So they're selling and buying in a really smart way now. But I think a lot of these charges are from earlier in the City reign when the owners took over, that wasn't being done in a way that is fair, you know. And I do believe that out of those 115 charges, they will get in major trouble. They have to, otherwise, like this league, I'm not gonna have trust within this league anymore. And they know if they do nothing with all the charges that City have against them, then it diminishes the reputation of the league in a major way. And all rival fans like us will be fuming. You best believe. Who would be your plan B for a defensive mid? Bro, I was so excited about Zubi. But I guess Ederson, bro. From what I've heard about Ederson, I guess he would be my plan B, bro. Earthball. Ederson from Atalanta. You know, he was fantastic at the highest level in the Europa League against some top teams this season. You know, beating the likes of Leverkusen, beating the likes of us. And that defensive mid position for them was really crucial. You know, so he's a top player. And he's already a Brazil international. I would want him, for example, as a possible option. Nah, bro, Luis Diaz is not going to Man City. If there's any team where he could potentially go, it's Barca, as the rumors have come back in the last 24 hours. And I'm going to be making a video on that too, guys, on Lucho. What? Apparently, Luis Diaz. What is this news about Lucho and Man City? Bro, there's some rumors spreading right now about Luis Diaz potentially going to Man City, but nah, bro. I'm not gonna take that. I'm not gonna take that for a word, because I would wait for more reliable sources. But it's all over Twitter right now. Luis Diaz potentially agreeing terms with Manchester City. What the, bro? That better be fake. There's no way we can sell a top player like that to our rival, to our biggest rival. Bro, what is this stuff? That can't be true, can it? Bro, that cannot be true. I wouldn't be surprised at this point. It seems like we want to sell Luis Diaz. Bro, we can't sell Lucho to Man City. They're our biggest rivals. Varela also seems like a decent option from Porto. But again, I haven't watched enough of him. It's credible? Don't say that, Tom. Are you kidding? Better be fake news. But I mean, if we do sell Lucho, because it seems like Barca is really interested too, then I would not be surprised if we went back in for Anthony Gordon and signed him. I would immediately think that would happen. I don't know what's going on, Garvit. But I really do think the next 18 days, that's exactly how long's left in this window, is going to be the most chaotic. Nothing from bigger journalists. Let's just wait for it then. Let's wait for it, you guys. But I do think, guys, that the next 18 days are going to be the most hectic in a transfer window that we've ever experienced as Liverpool fans in the last 10 years. I see it happening, genuinely. I think it's going to be crazy. But I did prep a video this morning for you guys around Lucho to Barca. There was a really reliable link that I saw some hours ago linking Lucho to Barca, and that doesn't surprise me. And again, I think if we got a pretty big bid in for him, that we would consider selling him. And then it would not surprise me if Anthony Gordon came in like that, because it seems so clear that his head is turned already, that he wants to join Liverpool, that Liverpool see him as a top option at left wing for the future. So that would not freaking surprise me. Yo, Arti, nice to see you in the building. Bro, he can't leave. We cannot allow him to leave, bro. Diaz, nah, bro, Ferran, we're not gonna trust that source just yet. We can't. We cannot trust that source just yet. Cannot. Bro, Earthball. Oh my god. No, I mean, if we got big money for Luis Diaz, I wouldn't be against it. And you know I freaking love Lucho. But I do think if we got big money for Diaz, we would bring Anthony Gordon in. I know Andre, bro. I know Andre Fluminense. I've watched him and he's perfect for slot system. But bro, there's a reason why Fulham were going to sign him to replace Palinha. We were supposedly interested in him. And the fact that no top clubs have gone back in for Andre, to me, that says something. Something is off behind the scenes for that deal to have completely cooled down from any team in Europe's top 5 leagues to have gone in for him, because it's not like he was that expensive, you know? Is it even a source? Ben Peak? I can send the link to what it is, to the report that I'm seeing about Lucho. Let me send it in the chat for those of you that want to look at it. But surely it's not possible, bro. I like I said, it wouldn't be the biggest surprise to me if he went to Barca, but to sell to our biggest rival, I don't see that happening. To our biggest rival, bro, we would not allow that to happen. I just, for those of you that want to see the link to the report, I just put it in the chat. Kimmich is top class, but also an option, bro. I would want someone younger than Kimmich. Yeah, just memes. I was reading that article from The Athletic. Polinia? Bro, Joao Polinia already just joined Bayern this summer. He just joined Bayern. So he's not an option, bro. Trust Fabrizio Romano. Exactly, Liam. I don't see how that could be possible, bro. I am not trusting that. I would never make a video based off of that source. I would wait. But like I said, I prepped a video around Lucho to potentially go to Barca earlier today, because there was actually a reliable, this journalist called Pip Sierra. He's the one that first broke the news about Luis Diaz to Liverpool. He's a Colombian journalist who's very reliable, and he reported that Liverpool would be open to selling Diaz, but only for the price tag that they want to sell him at, which is 75 million euros. 75 million euros. And I think if somebody came in with that bid, but probably not to Man City, bro, we wouldn't sell to our biggest rivals. If Barca were able to do that, or maybe a player plus 50 million or something, I think Liverpool would be open to potentially doing it. That's what I've heard. Donut Salud, thank you very much for the super chat, who says, Paulinho would have been perfect if not signed. He would have been perfect except his age. I believe he's 29 years old. But yeah, I would have wanted him. He turned 29 in August. But yeah, I would have been very happy if he had come in, because he also has Premier League experience and everything. But I think the reason we didn't end up going for him is, if we are to sign a defensive mid, it really looks, by the looks of things, that it would be a much younger player. And I think Zubi was exactly the profile we wanted, because he was just 25 years old. He's already a Spanish international. He would come in and immediately be a starter, and yet he still hasn't hit his prime. I think that's what we'd be looking for. Bro, I don't think we could take in De Jong because of the wages that he has at Barca. He's on ludicrous wages. Insane wages. And I'm not sure Ugarte fits the bill either, bro. I don't think he fits the bill either, because of the fact that he's more of a destroyer type defensive mid, and it seems like that's not what Slot wants. He wants more of a technical player, like somebody that's good in possession, good in transition. And Ugarte, I think that's one of the reasons why PSG are open to selling him, is they don't need a destroyer type defensive mid like that. But I think if you were to ask me if now, for plan B, if there's anyone I would want, for me it would be Ederson from Atalanta at this stage, because I also think he would cost around the same price as Zubi, and he's proven it against top teams in the Europa League, like I said, against us, against Leverkusen, that he's at that level. And he's exactly around the same age. Look, I think he might be even a little bit younger than Zubimendi. He's 25. Okay, he's born. Wow, he's born, guys, just 8 days away from me. He's 25, and he's, like I said, he's already a Brazil international. He has 2 caps for Brazil, and that says a lot that he is at a very good level, you know. And the last time we signed a Brazilian defensive mid, Fabinho, it ended up pretty well. It ended up going pretty well, because he was elite for two to three seasons. He was one of the best defensive mids in the world. And that's what I mean. I think the biggest reason why we haven't been able to keep competing with City the last 2 to 3 seasons is because we don't have that elite defensive mid anymore. We haven't had it since his legs started to slow down. We haven't had that in our team, and we absolutely need that. No doubt about it that we need that. So I freaking hope we have a plan B, you guys. Would you go to a club knowing your second choice? Who would be a second choice? There you are. But I would personally, if I backed myself, I would go to a club knowing I'm second choice, because if you want to make it anyways at a club like Liverpool, there should always be someone fighting for your position, and therefore you always kind of have to be on your toes. So yeah, I would go knowing I was second choice because I could win that spot. And that's what I love. There was an interview of Wataru Endo where they asked him, I think it was on Japanese TV, and he welcomed a six to come in. He's like, I want that competition, and I think that's the mentality you have to have when you play for a top club like Liverpool. And anyways, like I said, for me, plan B, I would go for Ederson from Atalanta from everything I've heard. And I think he would slot right into the team. I think he would start because, like I said, it's a position we need. Bro, I'm not going to be believing that though. I doubt it that this is real. That these reports are real. Bro, Kobe Mainu, are you out of your mind, Anuj? You think United would sell Kobe Mainu to us? No chance, bro. But I mean, what there's no doubt about is we should be keeping Stefan Bajcetic. I don't understand the rumors I've been seeing as well from reliable sources saying that Liverpool could potentially be open to loaning him out. That I don't understand. Because if there's one defensive mid in our team that clearly fits Klopp's style, which apparently is more possession-based in transition, etc., then it's Stefan Bajcetic. He's incredible, technically speaking. But again, we cannot depend on a young kid who's just had a really serious injury. We can't. That would not be smart. If we're not linked with anyone in the next coming days, then I'll be worried, says Zach. Bro, I would not believe that Luis Diaz news story. Not until someone reliable speaks of it. Goal rush, not until someone reliable speaks about it. Okay? That's crazy, just memes. I'm hoping that those reports that Liverpool aren't looking to have a plan B in that sixth position, I don't want that. I'm freaking hoping that's not true. But this is something I want to know for you guys in the building. If a team like Barca came in with a 75 million euro bid for Lucho, would you personally accept? If it meant... Let me do a poll of this. Would you accept a 75 million bid for Lucho? Let's see what you guys think. No? Right now I see the poll is 50-50. Slot looks 80 million plus for Lucho. Not true. Nah, bro, we cannot let Stefan Bajcetic go out on loan. I understand he needs a lot of minutes, but he will be getting minutes for us. With the amount of cup competitions we have, you best believe he's going to get minutes. Go 12 would only accept 85 million or plus. He would not. Anislot's first taste of not being back properly might be a repeating cycle of challenging fire the title and taking short. How much would it be to get Anthony Gordon in? I'm not exactly sure, but maybe if we went back in for him, we would try to do the include Joe Gomez in the deal, because it seemed like the way it happened, they were going to pay a fee of around 45 million pounds for Joe Gomez, and we were going to pay 75 million pounds for Anthony Gordon. So it would have been a kind of like swap plus money kind of thing. But I personally would rather, I want Joe Gomez to stay. So if it would be possible to get him while getting Gomez to stay, that would obviously be ideal. But let's see. 57% of you guys so far are saying that you would not accept a 75 million euro bid for Lucho. I think it all depends on how much Gordon would cost, because we don't know. If he would cost 75 million, then that's tough. Andre for Fluminense, bro, I talked about him before. There's a reason why no teams in the Europe's top 5 leagues have gone back in for him. There must be something happening behind the scenes for teams to not want him. I don't want Gomez to leave either, bro. Trust. I don't want him to leave either. Oh, Sam Lee. Understand there's no truth in the Luis Diaz links. That was genuinely just fun for 15 minutes. Sam Lee, who is a correspondent for The Athletic. Guys, that was at 12:00. Yeah. Guys, correspondent from The Athletic. Has said it's not true, which doesn't freaking surprise me. Of course it's fake, bro. Of course it's fake. Are you kidding? That had to be fake, bro. Bobby Clark is expected to leave on a permanent to RB Salzburg. Apparently, they just need to up their bid a bit more to get closer to the 10 million pound mark, and then it looks like he would be off to Salzburg. Those are the rumors. Omer, we don't know the exact reason why Zubimendi is not joining, but it seems like it's to stay loyal to his boyhood club, and it seems like they're going to be offering him a big new contract as well. Yeah, guys, James Pierce has just, guys, do not freaking worry. There's no truth in these talks. I'll pull it up here for you guys to see. For those of you that don't have Twitter. There's absolutely no truth in these talks, guys. Absolutely no truth. Doesn't freaking surprise me. All good, guys. There's absolutely no truth, guys. And I don't understand why we would be thinking about selling Lucho anyways, unless we had a definitive deal already lined up to be sure about it. I just don't see how we would ever let that happen. It just would make, and for me, the biggest thing that would obviously make absolutely no sense is why would you let a top player like that go to your main rival? Of course not, bro. Of course we wouldn't have let that happen. Does not freaking surprise me. But Barca, like I said, That would make more sense. That would make more sense. Absolutely no need to worry, panic, anything like that. No idea where that Luis Steele just confirmed, guys, that Liverpool have had no approach for Luis Diaz from any club. Definitely not Man City. No idea where that story is coming from. That's what they've just said. Would you trust Enyoni as your DM? Oh, bro, are you freaking kidding? A 17-year-old? Of course not. And he's not a DM, bro. He's more of an attacking player, as you saw when he scored. Bro, of course not. Let's see, by the way, 436. Gakpo, I'd love to see. The Quiet Swan says, I'd love to see Bajcetic get the starting DM shirt for the season. I think he'll be better than Wharton when given the chance. The Quiet Swan, I also rate, trust me, I rate Bajcetic so highly, but I don't think that we can trust him to be our starting mid just yet. And I say that mainly because of that really serious injury he picked up. Not because I don't think he doesn't have the ability, you know? Jason, I can't pick Gakpo or Diaz, bro. It's too difficult. They're both top class left wingers. I think it's one of those situations where we gotta. I'd love to have both, and they fight for that position week in, week out. That's how it should be at Liverpool. I'm a big fan of that. Never having your position be a guarantee. Although I do think obviously the likes of Alisson, Virgil, and Salah are absolute guarantees in the team, but most other positions, I think you have to perform week in, week out. Fabrizio Romano just said two sources Liverpool expect Luis Diaz to stay at the club. Expect Luis Diaz to stay at the club, guys. So do not worry. Yep, he just... Exactly, bro. No need to stress. No need to stress, you guys. Bye, Garvit. I'm going to have to go soon, you guys, because I'm going to be prepping the videos for you guys today. There's quite a few. Obviously, there's a lot of things happening right now. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about with this transfer window. Guys, that's going to be it for this current stream. But like I said, I think the next 18 days will be the most busy that we've had in a long time, because I do still think we're going to have outgoings. Obviously, Fabio Carvalho just got announced as official just recently. He's off to Brentford, but I think there will be more outgoings and hopefully quite a few incoming. So we will see you guys. The Vicar, we will do a football bingo this week too. Okay, I'll let you know. But right now I have to go, guys, and it's literally to prepare videos for you guys, because soon today I'm gonna have to do some driving practice, and I need to work on those videos right now, filming and editing them. So big up to all of you guys. I will see you very soon. There will be a bingo to come soon, I promise you guys. But right now there's just so much happening within this transfer window. There's a lot to talk about, and I'm sure you guys will want to stay updated on everything, and have a place where you can share different opinions. So yeah, guys, talk to you very soon. Thank you as always for tuning in. You'll never walk alone, guys. Let's freaking hope Plan B is here, and that we will hear positive news very soon. Big up to all of you in the building.